All right, guys. Today we are going to be reacting to Andrew Wilson confronts delusional girl who wants a rich man. Let's jump in.
On a date with him. Does that make sense?
No, I wouldn't, because it's not my character. Like, if I'm not interested in...
But could you conceive that a woman would go on a date with a guy that she's not attracted to because he's offering to take her to the Bahamas?
Sure.
Okay. So...
Also, how would you feel if you hadn't eaten breakfast this morning?
What?
How would you feel if you hadn't eaten breakfast this morning?
Hangry?
Somebody answered it for her, so... Somebody whispered it.
Okay, well, that would have been my answer regardless.
Now, how you see how the sister who jumps in? They're angry. That was so wrong. I want to know who was that person.
Hangry?
How would you feel if you hadn't eaten breakfast this morning?
See, she knows. See, she knows. The porn star knows.
Hangry?
Somebody answered it for her, so... Somebody whispered it.
Yeah, now you have to come up with a new one because I already know. I'm telling you.
Okay, well, that would have been my answer regardless.
How tall are you? And what would be the minimum height for, like, your future husband, the guy you're going to spend your life with?
Okay, I'm 5'5", probably like 5'2".
Okay.
I don't really care about height.
5'2", okay.
I'm 5'6", so he would have to be same height or taller.
Okay.
I'm 5'8", so I would prefer, like, I don't know, I kind of want to wear heels if I could, so like 5'10".
Okay. What about you?
I'm 5'10". I'd rather them be 5'11" or higher.
Sure.
I'm 5'5". I'd say like 5'7", 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm 5'5", so like taller than me, 5'8", and higher.
I'm 5'9", so probably 5'10" or higher.
I'm 5'7". Minimum would probably be 5'6", because that's my husband. He's a little shorter.
I'm 4'11", and I love wearing heels, so I would want someone who probably is like 5'4" or higher.
I'm 5'7".
And why in the hell wearing a heel? Like, this is gonna be an issue. That's crazy.
My preference would be 5'7" or above.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 5'3", and my preference would also be 5'3" or above.
I'm 5'7", and my preference would be 5'10" or above.
And then all y'all who are in relationships, how tall is your boyfriend?
6 foot.
6'1".
5'11".
5'6".
Okay. This is kind of interesting. All right. So, what was the next thing?
Ryan, how much would a woman have to make for you to be with her?
Nothing. Don't care.
That's crazy.
Don't care.
It's wild.
Now, I'd like her to not be in debt, like substantial debt, but don't care. In terms of her income, don't care.
Man, that's weird. It's almost like...
differences.
I mean, it seems like you have really low standards, though. Surely you expect her to work and try her absolute best to make money, right, Brian?
No, don't care. Don't care at all.
That's why do you have such low standards, though? Why shouldn't she make $150,000 a year? Like, I was just thinking about this as I was giving the answers, and I was like, man, I must have really low standards. I feel like my wife should make exactly what I make or higher. She's not trying hard enough.
I don't think men prioritize that when it comes to attraction. It just doesn't matter.
Oh, that's really weird. Then almost like, wait, there's a position of privilege again that we're looking at?
Can I chime in here?
Sure.
Yeah, I would love to hear it.
Because I did say the highest number. I think just realistically, looking from an economic perspective,
You mean height or money?
Financial.
No, I think she said 200K.
Oh, just kidding. Not quite the highest, but I said
200K, not a virgin. You work in a mattress actress industry. There you go, guys. That's your delusion. And she's not. He had nose ring and I don't know, tattoos all over. 200K, guys. That's the problem right there. See, even their product's not even that good, but 200K.
Yeah,
you mentioned 150. You mentioned 150. I think for me, when I started dating my boyfriend, he was and still is dealing with a lot of debt. He was a high school math teacher making absolutely no money. And it was kind of one of those things that it's like, I wasn't attracted to him for his money. He's making great money now. He's in gas and oil acquisition, so good for him. But with that,
I didn't like that comment there, huh?
Now he's in gas and oil acquisition, so good for him. But with that, I don't think it's necessarily a financial thing for me. I think my answer just had a lot more to do with like realistic economics.
Sure, we don't care. I don't know
Well, I don't understand. Do you think that Brian doesn't want to deal with realistic economics?
No, not necessarily. I mean,
well, then how come he doesn't care? He just must have low standards. Then.
For me, it wasn't necessarily a standard thing. If he was making absolutely nothing,
she's personalizing this back and forth way too much.
I love him for who he is. If he goes broke, we'll figure it out.
That's not what you said, though. What you said was, you said when asked how much do you want him to make, you said it's going to be between X and Y would be the minimum amount that I would accept. Otherwise, not trying hard enough, essentially. So,
but I think that there's a difference between wanting and needing. So I don't need him to make any money. Obviously, I would want him to make a financial input into our marriage and into our children.
How much does a man need to make for you? And the answer was between X and Y. Interestingly enough, for Brian, the answer is 0. And that's really weird. It really seems like there's a standard here, which is from a position of privilege from women, where they put a requirement for what a man needs to make or he's not trying hard enough. And yet when I ask the man, he says, I don't give a shit. That's just bizarre to me.
Going back, though, because one of the questions that was asked was, would you marry somebody who wanted to be a stay-at-home dad? I would. Mm-hmm. And so that was a conversation with my boyfriend at the time.
Yeah, but that's still a resource allocation thing, right? Like I'm still
100%.
getting. So like Brian, for instance, I didn't ask him if there would be a requirement she was a stay-at-home mom. Mm-hmm. He just said flat out, no. There's no income requirement. Regardless of circumstance, no income requirement. So meaning, if she just wasn't having his kids, he still didn't give a shit if she made 0. That's really strange. That really seems like there's a standard here, which is really high for men and really low for women. That's all I'm saying.
I think the standard for me, at least, just falls on the fact that if we need to be able to put a roof over our heads, I think going back to even what you said, Liz, okay. Even if just enough to get by. If we lived on a tent under a bridge and we loved each other, it didn't matter. It's just a matter of having a roof over our head and food in the fridge and being able to send our kids to school.
And to be fair, the question was of preference,
correct.
Not like a necessity.
You was there, sister who's coming into the attack. I mean, to the rescue. Look how she's looking at her. It's basically telling her, I just want to make sure that you're not alone on this one.
Roof over our head and food in the fridge and being able to send our kids to school.
See? Right
and
here.
To be fair, the question was of preference, not like a...
The preferences. Agree with what I'm saying.
Necessity, if that makes sense.
Want versus need.
Yeah.
No, well, what was the question? Can anybody even tell me what the question was?
Let's go, Andrew.
Anybody?
Let's go, Andrew.
The question was,
how much money do
you want your partner to make?
Like
right.
their salary. I'm pretty sure would you prefer?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
I mean, I don't know the exact wording, but I got.
I think it was something along the lines of, what's the minimum income you'd like your future husband to make? Something.
What's the minimum?
I mean, my answer was preferably. It's not like it can be changed depending on how I actually feel for that person in the situation, but preferably
it's the
ideal. Then how come there was qualifiers like try, like he's not trying hard enough if he's not doing X, Y, and Z, right? He's not trying hard enough if he's not making this income. That's bizarre. That sounds like a qualifier. Like,
I mean, I didn't.
You don't think he's good enough, right?
I didn't say that.
Who said that?
I do got to move it on. Andrea, you said that men need to act.
Brian, what are you doing, bro? Andrew almost got all of them. All of them. And Brian has to come in. Don't like when he does that.
Act like men and step up.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Women need to step down? What does that mean?
No, like men like to be chased nowadays, but I think it's like they're kind of confused. Like they say that they are attracted to women, but they are not chasing women. They want to be chased. So that's like more masculine energy, and like they're kind of looking for that masculine energy, and so they're not like giving that. So like they're kind of really looking for a man, like they're not.
So they're like, are you saying they're gay? Or what,
like maybe they are gay, but they don't want to admit it, and so like they're going after these women and like oh, let me
Wait.
contact like 5 women at once, like to distract himself that like, you know, that like maybe.
Wait, so men who enjoy it if a woman pursues their less masculine.
Like, oh, let's like, they'll be like, oh, let's hang out. Okay, here's my address.
Let me just try to get through things quickly here. What's up?
Well, I hate to psychologize, but have you been with a guy who came out later as gay?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I have not.
Okay. So do you think women need to act like women and step up? Or I don't know if it would be step down.
What do you mean?
Well, you said men need to act like men and step up.
Yeah.
So do women need to act like women and step up?
Like,
or step down? I don't know.
We just keep our standards, and like, you know, if we don't like how they're approaching us, then like we need to just move on. And you know, like, because I don't know, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this guy is just, you know, not giving me the attention that I want. You know, it's like he's asking me to like go to him. Like, I don't want to do that.
You don't even
like,
know what you want.
Come to me, you know, like you shouldn't be chasing a man.
What if he's just not that
She's chasing big. Okay, basically what she's talking about is about the 1%, because she feels like she's chasing a lot of these guys. Well, what kind of guys are you supposed to be chasing? Well, they like the guys that you like, but then what happened is the guys that you like, they already have multiple options.
To you.
Then don't go out with them. Then
okay.
Then don't go out with them.
But I mean, so what does it
Don't give
mean?
them
Like, what does it
attention.
mean for men to act like men and to step up? What does that mean? Just to pursue, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like they should be the ones chasing, not the ones chased.
I don't know about chasing. I think maybe men should pursue. I don't know if they should be chasing.
It's the same thing.
I think it's different.
It's
chasing is
more
the girl.
physical, more action
You've
based.
asked her out 7 times, and she, I'm busy.
Yep.
I'm starting now. Pursuit is different than chase, I think. I mean, maybe to you it's the same, but
Okay, men should pursue, not be pursued.
okay. I'm not going to
Brian, it actually occurs to me as I was sitting here pondering this, the last round of questions. I'm sorry to bring this back, but this is actually bothering me, so I'm going to bring it up.
There is just a lot to get through.
I know.
There's
Very
a lot.
quickly, though.
Brian, you're oh, man. Oh, Brian, you have a great show, man. Yeah, a great show. I'm not gonna lie. But sometimes, man, you do stuff like this. It's so. It's not necessary, man. You're letting these females off the hook. When the arguments, when they don't give you a win, right? You're giving them breathing room, right? To be deceitful, not harming arguments with, with sincerity. You want to leave them off the hook, and then you want to move it on. Like, bro, you listen, man, I'm just gonna leave it there.
Very quickly. I got to understand this. If you really thought it was about preference, why wouldn't you say millions of dollars or billions? If you honestly thought that the money thing was about
We
preference,
said minimum.
why wouldn't you
minimum.
say...
We didn't say
minimum.
No, we didn't say
Let me finish the question. Why wouldn't you say, I want a man who's 6'5" and has millions
Your question
of
is
dollars.
answered.
Hang
You
on.
said minimum.
Just chill out before you start spurting.
There we go. This is why you let Andrew cook, Brian. You see how the demons start. You see, I don't even think Brian noticed this. Brian was leaving them off the hook. It was letting them off the hook. Andrew pressed the button, and the demons started what? Manifesting. But for some reason, guys, I don't know why, Brian does that. Oh, we have to move it on. We don't have to move anything on, bro, until those arguments need to be addressed. And I talked about this multiple times, where you never know when you're going to have an opportunity to tackle these arguments. And we saw this with Kevin Samuels. He tackled so many arguments that even at today are very helpful to just go back and forth with these type of females, man. But you want to move it on, right? I understand.
Why wouldn't you have said that if you really thought it was about preference?
Because
Why?
it was minimum. The question was, how much money would you like him to make minimum?
Yeah, if it was
There's
about
your
the
answer.
minimum, that was a preference. Why wouldn't you say millions?
Because it's
Because
unrealistic.
Who wouldn't prefer that as a minimum?
Because I'm trying to also make sure that I get by and I'm not putting unrealistic standards on him.
Yeah, but it's a preference. If you really thought it was a preference, why would you just say, I prefer at minimum $80 million? Like, who wouldn't prefer that?
Because I'm not trying to put unrealistic
No.
expectations on
It's
men.
because you didn't see it as a preference. That was cope,
Oh.
and it has to be cope because otherwise, everybody in the right mind would say my minimum preference, if it was just off what
Minimum preferences for a man would be what? Feminine, fit, and friendly and virgin. See? But man, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. We'll see you in the next one.